Good day.
Ooh, did you just speak?
Of course I did. How do you do?
I'm pretty well, thank you. What about you?
Hey, I'm Oliver. I really hope you enjoyed that little entering scene. Thank you to both my sister and my boyfriend for helping with the voice acting. This video is hopefully going to be the start of a long series. This video contains the scene you just saw, and moving onwards we'll get into character designs, reference sheets that both explain Dorothy and the Scarecrow's design a little bit more, while also including the other cast members from the Wonderful Wizard of Oz book by L. Frank Baum. The part of where this will hopefully become a series is because of the humongous amount of Oz-themed books there are. Just for more context, there is 14 of them, which is ridiculous. I understand that this video is very much overdue. It's been like a month since my last video, and I'm the one who said I wanted to upload more in 2025. I am really excited for you guys to see this video though, so I really hope you enjoy this, and I hope it was worth the wait, so let's get into it. So I did a lot of concept sketches a long while ago while waiting for a friend at the mall, and the Scarecrow came to me ridiculously quickly. I love characters who flop and like overextend their limbs when moving, and I fell in love with that sort of movement after watching the 1977 movie Raggedy Ann and Andy, a musical adventure. Raggedy Andy was a huge inspiration for this design, and you'll probably be able to tell that with how he turned out, but either way. And also in the beginning of the Wicked movie, when you can see like Dorothy and everybody walking down to the wizard in the Emerald City and everything in the first Wicked movie. I don't know if I already said that, but the way that the Scarecrow moves in that is really cool too. I wish I had the time to do like fully separate character animations. I had started this video early January, which was the start of exam season, so a lot of work needed to be done for school super quickly, so this video took way longer than I wanted to, because it needed to be kind of put on the back burner a little bit. Anyway, small rant over. The character animation thing would have been really cool, especially for the Scarecrow and for another character that you'll see next. I would have loved to take advantage of the twisted limbs that I drew in my concept. It looks really interesting, and I love it a lot, so. For each character, I wanted some sort of main color palette. For the Scarecrow, I obviously went with a warmer orange. Personally, I loved how it turned out, and I think plaid always looks good with a nice warm orange or red. Overall, I had a really fun time designing the Scarecrow. He's always been my favorite character in The Wizard of Oz. I must admit that the Tin Man was pretty hard to try and execute. It's really hard to create a Tin Man character without him blending in too much with every other Tin Man rendition. In this video, I really wanted to try avoid creating similar character designs to the 1939 movie, and I know that there are other renditions out there of the story, including even like the book illustrations. However, this was the main piece of media that is entirely recognizable and memorable to me personally, so I was trying to just like completely burn it from my brain while doing this video. For the Tin Man, I wanted to have an almost vintage tin or robot vibe to him. Like, think almost Altoid. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Altoid is like the mints, those tins that I tried to kind of do. Unfortunately, I think that the robot part was pretty much lost, and I only really included the vintage tin in like the little heart compartment, which was pretty fun to design either way. You'll notice in the beginning of the speed paint, I did 2 rough sketches, and this was because I had thought that the first design reminded me too much of a train conductor, with like the steam whistle and then like the little brim. And honestly, that's a great character design, which I have to use in a different kind of thing. But either way, which doesn't really fit in with the Tin Woodsman. So I changed it up a little bit by making the steam whistle a touch bit smaller. And I also realized that in the original train conductor thing, I added a little heart for like the little like hole, and I wish I did that in the actual design because that would have been really clever. But yeah, if I did have the time for separate character animations, I would have loved to include the steam coming out of the whistle when a huge amount of emotion was happening. In my sketches, actually, I drew a part of the one of the book scenes where the Tin Man starts to cry, and the steam, oh my gosh, I'm like messing up all my words today, but you know, we're not doing more retakes. The steam is kind of pouring out, and I really just liked the sketch. The character turnaround was a bit iffy. I think it's because of the eyes and eyebrows. But let's just pretend my sketch is how it looked. Right, guys? The lion was probably the hardest one to do. I never really draw animals, let alone animals that are supposed to look unique and interesting. I really know nothing about drawing lions, like, obviously, because I don't know how to draw animals, but either way. So my main reference on my mood board was just lions from the side and the front and the back. So I got the full view. I attempted to make the color, like, pretty interesting. I always see lions with the regular dusty orange color thing, because that's how lions are made. Either way. Why did I write it like that? I always see? We all see lions like that. So I attempted to do a purpley black lion, in which I don't hate it, necessarily, but I also didn't love it because of the details, like with all the fur and everything. It got, like, lost a lot. So I kept the same-ish values, and I went with, like, a lighter purple and pink, with white bows for accents. Trying to make the lion look cowardly was a bit harder than you would have would have thought. Yeah, that's right. I almost completely forgot to add a detail that I put in my concept, but I hadn't done in my rough color design, which would have sucked if I hadn't remembered to do it. And that was these, like, longer and twistier eyebrows. And I actually tried to turn them downwards to emphasize, like, the kind of scared look. And I also added crinkly whiskers and an overall droopy face. You probably noticed that once I finished the turnaround sketches, I sized them down, and then I eventually sized them back up at the end. And this was because I had planned to do, like, a full turnaround with a motion setup. However, I had not a lot of time or patience to put myself through a, well, not even through one, but, like, multiple 3/4 views. Anywho, I think that the lion turned out surprisingly good. I'm really not sure how old Dorothy is really supposed to be. According to Google, she's supposed to be 12, but it's not fully specified in the books. I think my design represents Dorothy a bit younger, around like 9 or 10 years old, instead of the apparent 12 that she is. For her clothing style, I went with more like a 50s style dresses. I really liked the straight flared look of those kind of dresses, where it's just like one shape. I don't know how to explain it. It just looks like the kind of just draped fabric, and we're like, yeah, let's go. And honestly, I really wanted to kind of include that more like vintage 50s look, which I wish I did more with the rest of the characters other than just the Tin Man and Dorothy. Either way, a redesign for a redesign video? Who knows? Moving on to the actual scripted bit. I think Dorothy was a character that was pretty basic to do and like harder to figure it out, if that makes sense. Especially with her colors, you can notice at the beginning I was doing rough colors with a yellowy color palette, which I was happy with until I looked at it, and then I realized it was way too close to being Daisy from Mario, and I'm like, maybe not. So I went with a purple look instead, and I am absolutely in love with how she turned out. I wanted to add this big dramatic bow on the back of her dress, and I thought it was really cute too, so yeah. This video was really fun to do, and to really just experiment with character turnarounds and animation. I'm wanting to do more of this format of focusing on a proper design with a little entertainment scene either at the end or the beginning of the video, either way, like either one. And that's not saying that I'm gonna stop what I was doing before, because that was always cool as well, but for stuff like this, I think it'd be cool to kind of follow this format again. I really don't have much else to say about Dorothy. It was really fun to make her, and I love the fact that the silver shoes, the actual book canon of the version from the 1939's ruby slippers, like the silver shoes just kind of match with the rest of her lighter accent colors, so that was a nice mwah moment. Here's how Dorothy turned out in the end, and now on to the last character. Finally, the titular Oz is up. His design was really, honestly really fun to do. As soon as I read that the wizard is this like small old man, I knew that I wanted this small itty bitty little guy with a super red nose and big ears. And when I did my concept, I thought of him looking like that one guy from the second Wreck-It Ralph film. I think it was because he looks really similar to my more simpler cartoon style that I'm kind of developing. I really wish that I took the puppeteering portion of his like character backstory into account. You can see in my mood board that I like included these really cool fox costumes, and I think like an Asian dragon of some sort as well. I love that sort of like style. It's so cool and like texturized, and like the patterns are really awesome. And I'm not really sure if I've mentioned this before, but like I just said, I'm a sucker for those like cool styles, and especially cool masks, and I'll probably put a couple of examples up. But I have like a whole Pinterest board dedicated to those masks, so I'm really upset that I didn't include something like that. But I'm actually really unfortunate as well with the wizard, is that the like concept design for the colors, like the little rough thing before I went with the full turnaround, looks so much better than the turnaround did. Drawing the longer noses with like the Tin Man and the wizard were super hard to figure out for literally no reason. He really turned out cute though, truly, if you ignore the things that I said about it, but I can't really fully complain because I still think he's cute. When I started animating last week for this video, I'd originally planned to have 4 scenes, like 4 fully animated scenes, which is completely ambitious of me. I'm way too ambitious all the time, but either way. The first one was the one that you saw at the beginning of the video, so with Dorothy and the Scarecrow. The second one would have been the Tin Man's intro, and the third would be the Lion's intro. And finally a group scene with everybody, and the wizard, you know, just bring them all together. And after I realized that 4 would be way too much for myself, I narrowed it down to the first and the fourth scene that I just mentioned. And then after I finished the full sketch of the first animation, I realized that I literally would not have this video up for another week if I did finish the group scene. So the animation is just storyboards without literally any audio. Who knows? I might finish it one day, and it might show up in the future. I really don't know what else to say, but here's how he turned out. Anyways, that's the end, folks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It took way longer than I would have wanted, but here is officially to the new year, where I shall be posting higher effort content often. Later this month, I have this really cool collab that'll be coming out, which I actually have to really start finalizing the information for. Like, I have the basic stuff, but I need to figure out how the video is gonna actually look. Literally, when this video comes out, I will be literally like working non-stop on it, so yeah. Thank you so much for your 2K. I know that when I post this, I've since dipped underneath the 2K mark, but either way, I have a screenshot to prove we were once there. So thank you so much for the support over the past like half a year, which is crazy to think about how quickly. But yeah, thank you guys so very much. Thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day or night. Bye bye.